Hello dear students, good afternoon. This is Khadar handling JEE and NEET classes of E4U. Today we are going to discuss the continuation of surface chemistry. That is part number 3. Now we are having so far in previous lecture what we have discussed, dear students, about catalyst, catalysis and types of the catalyst. Next one adsorption theory, next one enzyme catalysis, and adsorption theory and the different types of catalyst and its characteristics we have been discussed. Now in this lecture mainly we are going to discuss very important the content that is known as here colloids. This is very important, dear students, colloids. Now in this is the part 3 from the surface chemistry. In that colloids generally, now already we know the solution which is mainly classified into 3 types. One is known as a true solution, second one is colloidal solution, and third one is suspensions. You have been studied in lower classes. Now here I am discussing with respect to the types. The one is comes under first of all true solution, and the second one it is comes under here colloidal solution, and third one which is comes under suspensions. This is the very important thing, dear students. Now for example, if you check the point of difference between these 3, understand, the first of all what is the true solution? True solution is also generally nothing but, dear students, it is a solution, it is a homogeneous mixture. Already we know this is comes under, dear students, it is a homogeneous nature, homogeneous mixture or the homogeneous nature, and both which comes under here, this is heterogeneous, and even suspensions also comes under, dear students, heterogeneous substance phase. Next one, this is the first point. Next one, what about the size of the particles, dear students? The size of the particle in true solution which is less than 1 nanometer. Next one, in case of a colloidal solution which is 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. This is the size of the particles. But in case of, if you take it suspensions, it is greater than 1000 nanometers. Next one comes under visibility. Can you see this true solution? What are the particles which is present in the true solution? No, that is, you can write here, we can't see. We can't see. Even the if you take the microscope also, we can't able to see the particles in the true solution. But you can here also we can't see this colloidal particles present in the colloidal solution. But if you take the powerful microscope, we can see with the microscope. Next one, what about the visibility of suspensions? Here we can see, because the size of the particle which is greater than 1000 nanometers. Understood, dear students? Next one comes under here, sir, what is the it's the properties of this one, these 3 solutions. If you check it here, effects, optical effect, if you check it here, optical effect or optical property, it doesn't show optical property. Generally it is comes under, dear students, Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect, it doesn't show Tyndall effect, but in case of here colloidal solution it will show Tyndall effect, but suspensions also doesn't show any type of Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? We can discuss the properties of the colloidal solutions. Next one, what about here kinetic property? Kinetic property generally which is comes under, dear students, Brownian movement. Am I correct or not? It doesn't show any type of Brownian movement, and but in case of, if you check the colloidal solution, it will show Brownian movement. And what about his suspension, dear students? It doesn't show any type of Brownian movement. Next one comes under charge. Will it show the charge, sir? Now charge also doesn't carry these two solutions, but in case of colloidal solution it will carry the charge. Next one, suspensions doesn't show any type of charges. This is the point of difference between these two, these 3: true solution, colloidal solution, and as well as, dear students, suspensions. Okay, now if you take the true solution example here, sugar in water, glucose in water, okay, next one salt in water, we can consider this is the example for true solution. Next one, if you take the colloidal solution, okay, starch plus water, gelatin plus water, okay, next one some protein plus water, it is comes under colloidal solution. For example, if you take the suspensions, okay, generally dear students, if you take the some amount of water and put it into the, okay, sand or else mud, then what will happen, we can able to see the particle size. Such type of, okay, substance is known as here suspensions. Next one, very important here, based on the classification. Now I am starting here, very important classification of, okay, colloidal solution or classification of colloids. Okay dear students, next one with respect to, okay, or first of all what is the going to discuss here with respect to components present in, okay, components present in colloidal solution. Now we can start with our topic colloids components. Okay, with respect to these components we are having the two types. One is comes under dispersed phase, and second one it is comes under the students dispersed medium. Okay, simple. Okay, in case of true solution, if we take, dear students, how the solute and as well as, okay, solvent components is present here. Okay, in case of colloidal solution we are having the two types. One is comes under dispersed phase and second one known as dispersed medium. Okay, now can you, okay, for example, if I am taking here starch, okay, plus water, consider here protein plus water. Just you have to classify which one is the, okay, dispersed medium, which one is the dispersed phase. Okay, now general obviously we know like solute and solvent, this starch and as well as this protein which comes under, dear students, dispersed phase. Next one here the water which is comes under dispersed medium, just like solute and solvent. Okay, you studied in solution chapter, solute plus solvent is equal to, dear students, solution. Here also dispersed phase, dP plus dm gives rise to is equal to, okay, colloids. Okay, this is the first classification. Next one with respect to, okay, classification which based on, okay, now classification which is, okay, based on dispersed phase, very important here. Classification depends upon, okay, based on, dear students, dispersed phase. Am I correct or not? Now there are three types of is there. Okay, three types of dispersed is there. First one is comes under here, dear students, multimolecular colloids. Multimolecular colloids. The second one it is comes under macromolecular colloids. And third one it is comes under, dear students, associated colloids. Am I correct or not? Okay, now based on the dispersed phase we are having a three types, multi, macro and associated colloids. Okay, now let us start with here. Okay, now what is multimolecular colloids? Simple, dear student, this is the, but very very important where we are going to discuss, this is association colloids. This is the very important multimolecular colloids. Just you have to remember multimolecular, that means here for example on dissolution the large number of these colloidal particles which aggregate and which lies in between the, okay, size of the colloids. What I am telling here, on dissolution the large number of colloidal particles, the large number of particles which aggregate, okay, that means everything which come out, okay, which everything which closer to each other and lies the, okay, the size, okay, of these colloidal particles. Colloidal particles already we know the size 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometers. Such type of, okay, colloids is known as, dear students, multimolecular colloids. Comes under here second one, macromolecular colloids. Macro means here very big particles is there, very big particles. So if you are taking these particles here, okay, if you are dissolving a suitable solvent, which are dissolving, dear students, a suitable, okay, solvent, then what will happen? These all the macro particles, okay, in the presence of this some, okay, in the presence of some suitable solvent, what will happen, dear students? It will be broken down into smaller substance and which is lies into the colloidal solutions. But what is the condition here? We have to dissolve these macro particles in suitable solvent. In suitable solvent, and finally the size of this macro particle which lies or which is comes under, okay, colloidal particles or colloidal solution. Next one very important, that is known as, dear students, associated colloids. Associated colloids. Am I correct? Associated, already we know. Association means, dear students, all the molecules are closer to each other. Closer to each other. But how? Okay, how can you explain this associated colloids, sir? Okay, with the help of very, okay, excellent, okay, now method is there. Okay, we have to explain, that is called as here cleansing action of soap. Cleansing action of soap. This is the very important, okay, thing we are studying. Am I correct or not? This is associated, okay, colloids. First of all, if you take this one, first of all, sir, cleansing action of the soap, that means here commonly it is called the action of the soap. How? This soap molecule will be remove the dirt particles from the surface of the cloth. That is the mechanism we are going to study here. Now in this case here, first of all, what is meant by soap I am discussing here. The soap, generally the sodium or the potassium salts of higher fatty acids. Higher fatty acids, generally it is called as, dear students, soap. Okay, now this the preparation of this soap, it is known as, dear students, okay, saponification. Saponification. What is the saponification, dear students? Okay, now preparation of the soap, on what chemicals we are taking. Okay, now I can take it here. Okay, definition, the alkaline hydrolysis of an ester. The alkaline hydrolysis of an ester, okay, to form soap. To form soap, that is known as here, dear students, okay, saponification. The alkaline hydrolysis of an ester to form a soap is known as, dear students, okay, saponification. Okay, now can you give the example for the soap here, how the soap will be forming? Just I am taking this one, CH2, I am taking with respect to one reaction, okay, CH2, I am taking an ester, okay, O, C double bond O, C double bond O, okay, R. Am I correct or not, dear students? Okay, now if you take it here, CH, okay, O, C double bond O, R. Next one you can take it here, CH, O, C double bond O, R. COOR, ester or not? Ester, what I am taking, dear students? The alkaline hydrolysis. That means here I am treating with alkaline solution. Am I correct or not? Treating with alkaline solution. How many moles? 3 moles. Then what will happen here? Here OH will come and attach here. Okay. Next one here, what will happen, dear students? Here Na. Here OH, here Na, here OH, here Na. Then what I am writing finally, what is the product will be forming? Check here. CH2 OH, CH OH, CH2 OH plus, check it here, RCOONA, RCOONA. How many molecules total? RCOONA, total 3 molecules of, okay, sodium alkanoate formed. Sodium alkanoate. This is called as, dear students, soap. This is called as soap. Now the general formula of the soap is RCOONA. This is the general formula, and this is called as one of the byproduct, that is glycerol. That is known as, dear students, glycerol. Okay, now this is called as here soap. Where R is equal to here, we can consider C17H35. Okay, I can consider here C17H33. We can consider R is equal to C15H31. Just I am adding here COONA, here COONA, COONA. These are the different fatty acids. Different fatty acid, commonly it is called as, dear student, soap. Okay, stearate, and as well as this is oleate, this is okay, palmitate. Like this we can call sodium stearate. Commonly you can consider this is, dear students, mainly okay, sodium, okay, stearate. sodium stearate or sodium palmitate or sodium oleate. Commonly it is called as, dear students, these are the example for the soap. Okay, now how this soap will be removing the dirt particles from the cloth, we have to study with respect to mechanism. Okay, dear student, up to here please be noted down. Okay, dear students, now we have to study with respect to the mechanism of this one. Okay, soap, cleansing action of the soap. Generally, if you take it here, okay, now terms which is involved the cleansing action, terms which involve cleansing action of the soap. Okay, what are the terms we are using, dear students? One is comes under, okay, micellar, and the second one it is comes under, okay, CMC, critical micellar concentration, and the third one it is known as, dear students, Kraft temperature. Kraft temperature. These are the three very important terms which you related this cleansing action of the soap. Okay, micellar, first of all, before going to discuss, now first of all I am going to give the one small mind map here. Okay, now what we discussed, dear students, C17H, okay, 35 COONA. Commonly it is called as, dear students, soap or not. Okay, now what I am taking here, okay, now this is, okay, generally soap molecule here. Okay, now you can consider this is comes under, dear students, okay, minus, okay, part. This minus is called as here COONA. This is I can consider. This is considered, dear students, COONA. This entire, this is called as C17H35. That means this is the ionic part and this is, dear students, okay, hydrocarbon part. Now I can consider this is head part and this is comes under tail. Okay, now this head part generally it is called as hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic in nature, but in case of tail part which is called as hydrophobic. Hydrophobic. Okay, now hydrophilic, that means, dear student, it is water loving species. Water loving species. Okay, philic, that means here loving species. This is water is there, then immediately it will go under, okay, stick to the water itself. But in case of your hydrophobic, if you take the water, hydro means water, okay, phobia means, dear students, fear. That means here water hating species. Water hating species. Okay, next one, water loving, that means here, okay, what will be, okay, hating, dear student, dirt or oil hating. Dirt or oil is getting hate. Okay, next one, what will allow here, okay, water hating, no, then dirt or, okay, oil is loving. Okay, that means here simply you have to remember hydrocarbon part is there, okay, where the dirt particles or oil particles, it will go under, okay, love, it will go under stick. But in case of here hydrophilic part is there, where the water is there, all the hydrophilic part, that means this ionic part will go under stick to the, okay, water itself. Commonly it is known as here, this is ionic part and this is okay, hydrocarbon part. Okay, next one, slowly if you take it here, small action. Okay, now I am taking, okay, this is called as, dear students, some solution. Just added one cloth. In the cloth having the, what is, dear students, some dirt is there, some dirt. After you add the, okay, soap solution to the any type of clothes, then what will happen slowly, after if you check the into the bucket, we are observing the okay, many number of bubbles we are observing. Okay, now it is comes under here, these soap molecules, that means this hydrocarbon part will be, okay, try to remove the, okay, dirt or oil from the surface of the cloth or not, surface of the cloth. Okay, like this is happened. But in case of, if you check it here in this diagram, okay, same I can consider. Okay, then what is happening, the size of this slowly that particles is decreasing or not? That means here these soap molecules are trying to remove the dirt. Next one, if you check it here, all the dirt particles are removed by soap molecules. Am I correct or not? Now I can define here what is meant by micellar. What is meant by, dear students? Micellar. Okay, now this is called as dirt. Then what is happening here? This all the soap molecules try to remove the dirt particles. Okay, now just have a check it. The spherical, is it spherical shape or not? Yes. The spherical aggregate of the soap molecules dissolved in the water is known as micellar. It's known as, dear student, micellar. The spherical aggregation of the soap molecules dissolved in the water known as micellar. Commonly, this head part, no, this is called as tail part. Check it here. This hydrophobic part will go and attack. Attach to the dirt or not? Check it here. This is the dirt. But this is the head part which indicates here ionic part. I can consider this COO minus, COO minus, COO minus, COO minus. Check it here. This is the ionic part. This ionic part, it will away from the cloth. This is the way. But this is called as a hydrophobic part, stick to the dirt or cloth. This is the way the soap molecule will be remove the dirt or oil from the surface of the cloth, and this formation is known as here micellar. This formation known as, dear students, micellar. Next term, it is called as CMC, critical micellar concentration. Critical micellar concentration, what is here? The minimum concentration which is required, the formation of the micellar. The formation of the micellar. That is known as here CMC. Where at which concentration this micellar will form, that is known as its critical micellar concentration. But very important one point is there, like this. Now like this one, micellar is there, soap is there, COO minus, Na plus, and this much is there. This is COO here minus or Na plus, like this is there. One time they ask in JEE question, this is based on the question. What is the main, when we command to these two, critical, what is the soap molecules, which one has less, CMC? This is the very important question, dear students. Simple one relation, this is small part is hydrophobic part is there. This is the very large part is there. When compared to this one and this one, both are soap molecules only. Both are soaps only. Example for this one. When compared to these two structures, which one has a less CMC? Less CMC. Just here, whenever the hydrophobic part is more, then which is having the less CMC. That means here more hydrophobic nature. That means here water hating substance is there. That means whenever simple one relation is given, when CMC which is inversely proportional to the length of carbon chain or length of alkyl part. This is the very important. Where for example the length is more, then its concentration, critical micellar concentration is very less. This is the way we have to identify. Now you can check it here. C17H35 is there and C15H31 is there. Among them, which one is the greater? Among C. You can take it here. C15H31. Among these two, which one having the more? CMC. That means here, which one having the more number of carbon atoms having the less CMC? Which one is the greater? Means C15H35 has the greater CMC. Greater CMC because it has 15 carbon atoms. But in case of here, dear students, C17 carbon atoms. This relation we have to remember. Very important relation. Next one very important, that is called as Kraft temperature. What is, dear student? Kraft temperature. What is the Kraft temperature, dear students? The temperature at which the formation of the micellar starts. That is known as here Kraft temperature. The temperature at which the formation of micellar start is known as Kraft temperature, and this is called as CMC. CMC which is inversely proportional to the length of the carbon chain or alkyl part. Next one, this is called as, dear students, micellar. This is about, dear students, cleansing action of the soap. Next one, preparation of colloids. Preparation of colloids. Now which is based on that one, okay, the affinity, the interaction between the two types of colloidal solution. One is comes under generally, okay, lyophilic, okay, sol. It is also called as okay, colloidal solution. Sol is also called as, dear students, colloidal solution. And second one, it is comes under lyophobic sol. Lyophobic sol, this is lyophilic sol. If you are taking water is act as a solvent or a dispersion medium, then it is called as here hydrophilic, here hydrophobic nature. Okay, now small differentiate between these two, lyophilic and as well as lyophobic. For board this is the very important, okay, rather, okay, write the difference between lyophilic and lyophobic sols. The first one is, okay, now the affinity or the interaction, both are we can correct, we can write the affinity or interaction between, okay, dispersion phase and dispersed medium. There is the affinity or interaction between dispersed phase and a dispersed medium is known as lyophilic sols. Okay, but in case of, okay, there is no, okay, there is no, okay, interaction. There is no interaction between lyophilic, that's sorry, dispersed phase and the dispersion medium is known as lyophobic. Phobia means scare. Okay, now there is no interaction here. Here there is interaction between dispersed phase and medium. Next one, it is more stable, but in case of the students it is unstable. That is, you can less stable, and you can easy to prepare this one. Easy to prepare, but in case of this one, very difficult to prepare. Very difficult to prepare. Next one, if you check it here, okay, this is a less stable, okay, this is a stable one, this is unstable, easy to prepare. Next one, very difficult to prepare, and very important, this is reversible in nature. This is, dear students, reversible in nature, but in case of this is irreversible in nature. Irreversible in nature. This is the point of difference between these two students, dear. Okay, lyophilic interaction between the, okay, this one. Okay, okay, best example if you take it here, gum. Okay, next one, gelatin. Understand? Okay, these are all the different example. If you take it here, okay, lyophobic sols, you can take a star with the water, we can consider. This is the very, okay, point of difference between lyophilic and as well as lyophobic sols. Next one, how we have to prepare, preparation methods, very very important in this one. Okay, and properties next. Okay, first one you can consider preparation methods of, okay, first of all we can consider this is lyophobic, okay, sols. Lyophobic sols, preparation of lyophobic sols. We are having the generally two types of methods, dear students. One is comes under dispersion. It is also called as physical methods. Dispersion or physical methods, and the second one it is comes under condensation or chemical methods. Condensation or chemical methods. Now I am giving this, okay, small mind map, just you have to remember. Okay, one is comes under here dispersion. What are the things we are going to study, sir? Okay, one is comes under, okay, first method grinding. This is the physical methods. Okay, this is the chemical methods. Grinding. Second one, electro dispersion. It is also, okay, we can take it here, scientist name Bredik's method. Next one, peptidization. Next one, dear students, peptidization. These are the three methods which comes under dispersion or, okay, physical methods. Next one, chemical methods. Okay, what are the things which comes under? First one is comes under here, okay, double, okay, decomposition method. Double decomposition method. Okay, next one, oxidation. Okay, next one, third one, reduction, and fourth one, hydrolysis. Fourth one, dear students, hydrolysis. This is the very important. Okay, these are the preparation methods. Dispersion, okay, physical chemical method, grinding, Briggs method, and peptidization. And in case of condensation or chemical methods, what are the things will come under, dear students? Double decomposition, next one oxidation, next reduction, the third one, okay, fourth one, it is comes under hydrolysis. Okay, students, please note down, we have to continue with preparation methods. Okay, students, for the reference, I did not rub it itself here. Okay, physical chemical methods. Now let us start with here. Okay, first of all, what is the topic here? Preparation of, okay, lyophobic salts. Preparation of lyophobic salts. The first one, what I am taking here, this is the physical methods. First one I am writing here, okay, grinding. Okay, name itself there, grinding. If you take the colloidal particles, already you know, okay, colloidal particle, generally if you take the some particles generally which are having the large number size, then what you have to do, just you have to crush, okay, just you have to crush, then what will happen, okay, this crushed particles, it is converted into, dear students, the small particles with the help of one physical what is method is there, that is mill. That mill is called as colloidal mill. Colloidal mill. With the help of this colloidal mill, okay, now we have to crush the, okay, particles. Okay, that is the simple method, that is grinding. Next one, second one, it is comes under, okay, electrodispersion. Electrodispersion, okay, it is also known as Briggs method. It is also, dear students, Briggs method. Sir, what type of okay, colloidal particles you are going to prepare, sir? With this one here, some precious metals such as okay, gold, okay, next one, silver, platinum, okay, and so on, etc. These are the metal, okay, metals you are going to prepare. The colloidal solution of gold, silver, platinum, and so on, etc. we have to prepare by using this Briggs method or electrodispersion method. The small, okay, diagram is there. Okay, now we check it here. This is one, you can consider, okay, in that we are taking here some electrodes. In that, in between electrodes, just I am taking here, this is okay, this is, I can consider plus anode, I can consider this is minus cathode. Okay, now some I have to consider some, okay, stabilizing agents. Stabilizing agent I am taking here, KOH plus some amount of water I am taking, and after you getting heat, okay, after you applied heat, what will happen? Some amount of heat energy will generate or not. To cool that substance, just I consider here, I placed ice bath. This is called as, dear students, electric arc. Okay, this is the source, electric arc. What I am taking, dear students, generally in this experiment, a simple one point you have to remember. With this, okay, method, we have to, what type of metals we are, what type of colloidal solution you are going to obtain, such as precious metal, gold, silver, and platinum. This is a small experiment here. Just this is the two electrodes. In the two electrodes, just check it here, experimental setup. An electric arc which is stuck between the two electrodes. And just I consider some stabilizing agents such as potassium hydroxide plus water. After you apply heat, okay, then what will happen? These metals, okay, these metals getting intense, that is called as here vaporize. Okay, vaporize, that means, okay, more amount of energy if you apply, then what will happen? The metals slowly getting vaporize. Then to cool that substance, we are having the one, okay, you placed, okay, one thing that is known as here ice bath. Okay, to vaporize the, okay, some metals. To cool that substance we are placed ice bath. Then after here what will happen after cooling? The condensation takes place here. Condensation takes place. Finally, okay, we will be getting here some aqua, okay, what is a colloidal solution of whatever. Okay, for example, if you take the silver soul, okay, you can consider, okay, we have to separate, okay, or we can prepare silver colloidal solution or platinum or gold. Simply you have to remember an electric arc which is stuck between the two electrodes. Okay, next one, for what purpose we are using ice bath? Everything this is experimental setup, and this is comes under your students, okay, Bredik's method. And third one, it is comes under very important peptization. What is, dear students? Peptization, very important, where we are using in biology term also, okay, in biology also we are using peptide, okay, peptization, understand? Okay, now what is the general definition of this peptization? Okay, it is a process of, okay, the dispersion of the freshly prepared, okay, the dispersion of, okay, the freshly prepared okay, freshly prepared solution, okay, which is converted into, okay, that means freshly prepared precipitation solution which is converted into colloidal solution. Very important here. Simply you have to remember peptization. Okay, now precipitation which is converted into precipitate, which is converted into, dear students, colloidal solution, okay, by the action of an electrolyte. By the action of an electrolyte, that is known as here peptization. Simply you have to remember precipitate is converted into, okay, colloidal solution by the action of an by the action of an electrolyte is known as peptization. And this electrolyte in this process used, it is known as peptizing agent. What, dear students? Peptizing agent. What electrolyte we are using in this process called as peptizing agent. Mainly this peptization which is depends upon, okay, one effect that is called as here common ion effect. Already we studied, okay, in okay, equilibrium chapter. Okay, now if I consider this silver iodide, initially it is yellow precipitate, dear students, yellow precipitate. How this yellow, okay, silver iodide is getting decomposed? Dissociation Ag plus I minus or not? I minus. Then what I am taking here? Dispersion of the freshly prepared precipitate. This is a precipitate. It has to be converted into colloidal solution in the presence of an electrolyte. I am taking here electrolyte is Ki, potassium iodide. This is a strong one. Strong electrolyte. How it will decompose? K plus I minus. Here I minus, what is, dear students? Is a common or not? Check it. Ag plus K plus is the common or no? I minus is common, that's why it is called as common ion. What is the, dear students? Common ion. Okay, to decrease in the ionization of an weak electrolyte in the presence of common ion from the strong electrolyte. From the strong electrolyte is known as common ion effect. Due to the presence of this common ion, the few, okay, then what will happen? The concentration of the products increasing or not? Concentration of the product side, this is increases. Then the few I minus ions is combined with, okay, which is combined with Ag plus and forming undissociated AgI molecule. Undissociated AgI molecule due to what direction here? Backward direction. What direction, dear students? The net reaction will go now backward direction. This is very important. Okay, due to this one, it is okay, conversion into what, dear students? Colloidal solution. Next one, if you take one more example, same AgI substance I am taking. This is yellow PPT. Decomposition Ag plus I minus. If you take it here, one more strong electrolyte, that is okay, AgNO3, peptizing agent. This is called as peptizing agent. The electrolyte which is known as taking, it is called as peptizing agent. It is converted into Ag plus NO3 minus. Which is the common ion, dear students, here? I minus NO3 minus no, Ag plus. This is the common ion. Due to this common ion, what will happen? The few Ag plus ions combined with I minus and forming here undissociated AgI molecule. Okay, This is about peptidization. Okay, next one. Okay, second, that is known as, dear students, chemical methods. Chemical methods. Okay, in the chemical methods, what is the first one, dear students? Double decomposition, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis. Okay, now if you take it this one, okay, first one you can consider double decomposition. In this double decomposition, what we are discussing, dear students, okay, we can obtain the, okay, arsenious sulfide sol or colloidal solution you are going to prepare by chemical method, that is what, dear student? Double decomposition. I can consider here AS2O3, this is arsenic oxide, which is treated with H2S to form AS2S3. I can consider here, okay, 2 moles of H2, okay, take it here. Okay, then what will happen, dear students? Plus 2 moles of, okay, you can consider 3 moles, okay, plus 3 moles of water. This is called as, okay, colloidal solution. Arsenious sulfide sol be prepared by double decomposition in chemical methods. With the help of this method, we are preparing this method. Next method, if you take it, dear students, oxidation. Check it here, this reaction which comes under double decomposition, or check it, AB plus CD gives rise to AC plus okay, BD. AC plus BD, you studied, okay, in class 10th, okay, types of reactions, combination, decomposition, displacement, double decomposition. Okay, now second comes under oxidation. In this oxidation, what you are going to prepare, dear students? Sulfide sol. What, dear students? Sulfide sol you are going to prepare with the help of when H2S, which is combined with sulfur dioxide, then how it will be, just check it here. If I can say, okay, 3 moles of sulfur, okay, you can consider here, then what will happen? 2 moles of water. This is comes under sulfur sol or sulfur colloidal solution by using oxidation. Sir, how you are observing it is comes under oxidation? Check it here. Oxidation of oxidation number of sulfur here -2. -2 here, what will happen? 0. -2 to 0. Increase in oxidation number or decreasing, dear students? -2, -1, 0. That is increase in number. It is comes under oxidation. Very important. Okay. Next one, third method, it is comes under reduction. Third method is comes under, dear students, reduction. With the help of this one, okay, I am writing here, okay, reduction method, third one. Okay, reduction, what you are going to prepare? Okay, gold sol with the, okay, gold sol. How to prepare gold sol? Just what is the colloidal solutions of AuCl3, which is combined with stannous chloride. This is stannous chloride. Now I can write here SnCl4 plus Au. 2 molecules of Au, I can consider 2 moles here. Okay, 3, I can consider 3. Check it here, balance reaction. Then what you prepared, dear students? Gold sol you prepared or not? Gold sol you prepared. Then what reaction it is? It is comes under what method? Reduction. Okay, now check it here, sir, how it is comes under reduction reaction, sir. What is the oxidation state of gold, dear students? +3 or not? +3. Okay, what comes under here? 0. +3 to 0. Decrease in oxidation number or increase? Decrease. That's why it is comes under reduction. Decrease in oxidation number is also known as reduction. Okay, this is the method number 3. Next method, that is called as okay, hydrolysis. What is, dear students? Hydrolysis. Then how to prepare this hydrolysis? Okay, you can consider here FeCl3. Just if you react with water, 3 moles of water, how it is converted, dear students? This chlorine atom replaced by OH, FeOH taken thrice plus 3 moles of HCl. This is ferric hydroxide. Ferric hydroxide, the color of this compound is red. Okay, red sol, ferric hydroxide. This is the preparation methods of physical and as well as, dear students, chemical. Chemical very important. Okay, there are 4 methods are there. First one double decomposition, second one oxidation. I showed with the help of oxidation number also. Sir, why this comes under oxidation? Due to decay. What happened, dear students? Increase in oxidation number here. -2 to sulfur 0. Okay, increase in oxidation number called as oxidation. Okay, sulfur soul. Here gold soul you are prepared. +3 to 0 oxidation number of the gold. That's why it is comes under reduction. Fourth one, it is comes under hydrolysis. You are taking FeCl, the ferric chloride. Hydrolysis, it forming ferric hydroxide. This the color is red soul. Okay, dear students, this is about the preparation methods of colloidal solution. Next we can go for very important topic is that is properties of colloidal solution. There are 6 to 7 properties are there. Write down, dear students. Okay, dear students, next lecture, that is very important, that is called as, dear students, properties of colloidal solutions. Properties of colloidal solution, this is very important. Okay, the first property, simple one, that is nature. Okay, and the second one I am writing the list out here because for the reference we are writing. Next one, colligative properties. Colligative properties. Next one, very important here. Okay, we are having the two things main based on here, optical. Okay, this one. Next one, kinetic with respect to optical theory. Next one, kinetic theory, that means you can write it a kinetic motion, or optical with respect to with respect to light. We are having the one that is called as here one effect, very important, Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect. Next one, with respect to kinetic, we are having one that is known as Brownian movement. Brownian movement. This is the fourth one. Okay, fifth one, how this colloidal solution which show the color, which shows the color. Next one, if you check it here, charge on colloidal solutions. Charge on colloidal solutions. In that itself we are having the this one, electric double layer. Next one, a zeta potential. Zeta potential. Next one, electrophoresis. Electrophoresis. Next one, coagulation. What is it, students? Coagulation, it is also known as precipitation. Okay. Next one, this is the eighth. Next one, in that we are having the one rule is called as, dear students, that is called as Hardy-Sulje rule. Hardy-Sulje rule. Okay, in that is there. Next one, coagulation value. Coagulation value, and finally that is called as here protective soles. Protective soles and emulsions. These are the very important points, dear students. Okay, now just have a check it here. The first point which is comes under colloidal solution, that is nature. Generally, what is the nature, dear students? This colloidal solution. Okay, homogeneous or heterogeneous? Okay, heterogeneous nature. Heterogeneous in nature. Already we know we are having the in that dispersed two types of components. One is comes under dispersed phase, and the second one comes under, dear students, dispersion medium. Dispersion medium. Okay. Next one, if you take it here. Okay. Second one. Okay. Colligative properties. Colligative properties. Generally, these colligative properties. Okay, if you take these colloidal particles, what is, dear students? Okay, it has the size of the colloidal particles are more, which aggregate. Okay, which compared to the, this is when compared to the colligative properties, this is the size of the particle colloidal solution, which aggregate. Okay, when compared to this colloidal size particles, colloidal solution particle, the size of the colligative properties are very small. That means here, now for example, the large number of particles are there, large size is there, then the dispersion of these particles are more or less, dear students. More particles are there, very less number of particles is present. Less number of particles are present, but in case of colligative properties, dear students, more number of particles. You know, colligative properties which mainly doesn't depends upon the nature of the particles. Nature of the particles. With the help of this one, we can calculate the molecular mass of the dissolved solutes. You studied in solution chapter. Now colligative properties generally delta P by P naught, or delta TB, or delta TF. Next one, pi. These are the colligative properties. Relative lowering in vapor pressure. Next one, this is elevation of the boiling point, depression in the freezing point, osmotic pressure. Here generally colloidal solution having the more size of the particles is more when compared to this one here. That means less number of particles is present, but in case of here, dear students, more number of particles. This is the very important properties which comes under colloidal solution. This is the 2 over. Next one comes under with respect to optical, with respect to light. Optical theory, or with respect to light, we are having one theory that is known as Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect. First of all, what is meant by Tyndall effect, dear students? Try to remember. Tyndall is the scientist name, one who gave the phenomenon of the properties of the particular colloidal solution due to scattering of light. Now if I pass this white light into the, this is called as, dear students, true solution. If you pass the white light into the true solution, will it visible the path of the light here? No. Why? This is the size of the particles are very less. These particles will not disturb the path of the light. The same white light, if you pass into the colloidal solution, this is already we discussed. The size of the particle is less than 1 nanometer, but in case of here 1 to 1000 nanometer size of the particles here. If we pass this one, then what will happen? Due to the particles, due to the bigger particles, then what will happen? These particles will be disturb the path of the light. That means we can nicely see the path of the light in colloidal solution. Slowly what will happen, dear students? Some scattering will takes place here. Slowly some scattering will takes place. Just I am defining the Tyndall effect. On passing white light into the colloidal solution, the path of the light is visible. Path of the light is visible due to scattering of light is known as Tyndall effect. Optic, that means dear students light. With respect to light we are explaining, that's why this property it is called as here optical property. Okay, optical property, Tyndall effect. Okay, now for example if the morning itself, just if you open the window at your home, okay, if the small slit is there, okay, just to make it allow the sunlight directly from your home, okay, then what will happen? If you observe, okay, in that light, sunlight, we are observing the some particles are which are moving, okay, that particles it is called as corpuscles. Due to that due to that Tyndall effect only, okay, we are observing, okay, that sunlight which is passes into the through window, the particles are which is moving, that is known as here Tyndall effect. Okay, now the main what is the main condition here, Tyndall effect? This is the very important. Okay, the size of the colloidal particle. First point, the size of this colloidal particles, okay, should not much smaller than the wavelength of the light. Should not much smaller than the wavelength of the light. The size of the colloidal particle should not much smaller than the wavelength of the light. That is the first condition we are discussing in Tyndall effect. Second one, dear students, the refractive index. Okay, the refractive index of this dispersed phase and this dispersion medium, okay, greatly differ in magnitude. This is the 2 points. Dispersion, okay, what is the refractive index of dispersion phase and dispersion medium, which is greatly differ in magnitude. This is the 2 conditions which comes under, dear students, Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect. Okay, next that is called as, dear students, okay, kinetic theory. With respect to kinetic motion, we are having the one very important movement that is known as Brownian movement. What, dear students? Brownian movement. You studied in the lower classes also. Brownian movement, dear students, the zigzag motion of the particles. What, dear students? The zigzag motion of colloidal particles. In a particular solution is known as Brownian movement. How the Brownian movement will be takes place here? Like this. There is no particular direction. This is for example, if you consider in a particular solution, the particles will be moving like this. This is the kinetic, kinetic in nature. That means here there is no particular direction. The zigzag motion of these colloidal particles present in a solution known as Brownian moment. Then here also there is a condition, condition of these particles here, this zigzag motion. Now generally this motion of these colloidal particles doesn't depends upon the nature, the nature of the particles, but it depends on what, dear students? It depends on the size of the particles, and the second one is viscosity. What, dear students? Size and viscosity. This is the very important the condition for Brownian movement. Here there are 2 conditions for optical theory or optical motion. Next one, that is called as, dear students, color. Very important here. Color of the colloidal particles. Generally these colloidal solutions are colloidal particles which shows some color. Now it's based on, already we know the color of these particles, the color of these colloidal particles, which is mainly depends on, already we know the wavelength of this color, the wavelength of the colors, which mainly depends upon nature of the particles. Very important here. The wavelength of the color which depends upon the nature of the particles. Nature of the particles already we know. Okay, in spectrum there is 7 colors. VIBGR colors are there. Am I correct or not? This is all information you know. Okay, violet, indigo blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Okay, among these 7 colors, dear students, which one having the greater wavelength? Greater wavelength. Okay, already we know one formula here. E is equal to, okay, H nu. Okay, from how to do it here? Nu is equal to C by lambda. I can write it here. C by lambda. That means here E, okay, which is energy of the radiation, which is inversely proportional to, dear students, lambda or not, wavelength. That means here, okay, from left to right, the wavelength increases or decreases, dear students? Wavelength is increases. That means here the red light has the greater wavelength. Okay, wavelength is greater. Then what about its energy, dear students? Energy is very less. But in case of, if we take it here, okay, violet. Okay, violet has lambda is very less, but in case of energy is very maximum. Am I correct or not? That's why the wavelength of the color, which is mainly depends on the nature of the particles. Nature of the particles. Okay, now, okay, whether the red light has greater wavelength already we know. Okay, because of that only we are using in the traffic signals. Okay, then we are arranging in the trains also, whether the light is, okay, whether the train is coming or not. Okay, just 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers away, from there itself we can easily predict whether the train is coming or not. Next one, this red light has okay, one special quality, but due to its maximum wavelength, okay, then what will happen? Okay, we are arranging in the red light. Sir, if I arrange green, if I arrange yellow or okay, violet, what will happen here? Due to the presence of maximum wavelength of the, okay, red, okay, so many dust particles are present in the atmosphere. Okay, for example, this is the red light having the greater wavelength. These particles, these dust particles present in the atmosphere do not disturb the path of the red. If it pass, okay, if it disturb, then what will happen? Even red light also, it will be propagating in all the different directions. All the different directions. Then if the red light which propagates in all the different directions, then finally what will happen? It leads to cause many accidents. Okay, that's why main, okay, due to this maximum wavelength of this light, we are using here, okay, as a red, okay, signals. Then due to it will not disturb the path of the light. Am I correct, dear students? Next one, with this one we can see, okay, if you observe, okay, if you check exactly the right angle, okay, of the sky, if you check it here, the sky which appears blue, okay, then what will happen, dear students? Initially it is appears like blue, but if you change the angle, if you, okay, see the sky at the exactly corners, how it will appear, dear student? It is observed in red in color or not? Red in color. Okay, this is the very important, which is, okay, even now if you check the mixture of the milk and water exactly at the right angle like this 90 degrees, it appears like it is actually, okay, it is blue. But if you, okay, by it is comes under, dear students, refracted angle. If you viewed by, okay, refracted, then what will happen? It is appears like blue, but okay, it is appears like in different color, okay, through, okay, dear student, viewed by transmitted light. Okay, this is actually which is comes under, dear students, in a light physics session you might have been studied. Okay, this is the very important, dear students, the properties of the colloidal solution. Up to 5 completed and remaining 3 more is there. Okay, we have to finish it fast. Note down, dear students. Okay, dear students, next we can continue with our this one very important, that is called as charge on colloidal particles or charge on colloidal solutions. How this colloidal solution which carry the charge, that is 6th point, okay, charge on colloids. charge on colloids. We already discussed in okay, peptidization. The same thing we are going to discuss with respect to common ion effect. Okay, now with that itself we are discussing some points here, dear students. Okay, now if you take it here, silver iodide, how it is, dear students? It is converted to AH plus I minus. This colloidal solution which carries some charges, which carry some charge in the present in the solution. This is generally comes under yellow precipitate. After I am using here silver nitrate solution, this is comes under the strong electrolyte. Okay, how it will be decomposed, dear students? Ag plus NO3 minus. If Ag plus is comes under okay, common ion or not? Common ion. Due to that common ion, what will happen? The concentration of the products increases or not? Increases. Then slowly what will happen? Backward direction will take place. The few of Ag plus ions will be combined with I minus, and it is okay, forming undissociated AgI okay, molecule. Undissociated AgI molecule. Okay. Next one, if you consider here, then how it will be forming, dear students? Okay, these positive ions, this Ag plus ions will be absorbed on the surface of this colloidal solution. On the surface of this colloidal solution, how it will be absorbed? Ag, I am taking here. What is the soul, dear students? Ag plus ions absorbing or not? I can write here Ag plus, common ions only will absorb. Try to remember. Here I minus NO3 minus NAS comes under common ions. Ag plus, Ag plus, Ag plus, Ag plus. Like this, what will happen? This is called as a colloidal. This will be absorbed on the surface of its AgI. Then simply how to write, dear students? That implies I can write here AgI. Okay. Then I can write here Ag plus, Ag plus, Ag plus, Ag plus. That means these positive charged particles which come and absorb on the surface of AgI colloidal solution. Am I correct or not? Okay. Next one, if you take it this one, okay, when okay, same I am taking AgI gives rise to Ag plus I minus. I can consider this is potassium iodide, this is yellow PPT. Okay, this okay, this will be considering as okay, then how it will be, dear students? Okay, this AgKi molecule, how it will be converted, dear students? K plus and as well as, dear students, I minus. Okay, am I correct or not? Now when compared to these two, which one is the okay, common ion, dear students? I minus or not? This is called as a common ion. These few common ions I minus will be combined with Ag plus, and it is forming undissociated AgI molecule. It is forming like absorbing takes place like this: AgI, I minus, I minus, I minus, I minus, I minus. Then how do I write here? AgI will be absorbing what type of ions, dear students? I minus, I minus, I minus, I minus. This is the very important representation of the charge on colloids or charge on the colloidal particles. This is about charge. Now from that here, what we are going to discuss is two types of terms. Okay, now if I am taking here, one is taking as okay, what is, dear students? Electric double layer. Okay, now if I am consider here AgI, it's absorbing. Okay, I minus, it's I minus, this I minus. Am I correct or not? Okay, now in that here, okay, this negative charged particle, first of all, what is meant by here? Electric double layer. The charge, okay, the charge which developed on these colloidal particles or colloidal solution, slowly it attract towards oppositely charged ions. Okay, now for example, if I take this okay, colloidal solution here, this AgI attracting okay, I minus, this minus ions will be attracting with the positive ions or not? I can consider this is okay, K plus, K plus, K plus, K plus. Am I correct or not? This negative charged particle slowly attracting towards the oppositely charged ions or not? Oppositely charged ions. This is called as a one layer and this is called as a other layer. That's why it is called as okay, electric double layer. Sir, this layer name is called as this is called as a fixed layer. This is called as, dear students, fixed layer, and this layer is called as okay, diffused layer. This is called as a diffused layer. Diffused layer is also known as okay, movable layer. Okay, what I am telling here, electric double layer. Electric double layer. The charge which developed on these colloidal particles, okay, these particles, this negative charged particle which attract toward the opposite charged particles, okay, and forming the here one layer. Here this layer is known as here fixed layer, and this layer it is known as a diffused layer. Diffused layer, that is known as here electric double layer. Electric double layer. And one more very important definition, it is called as zeta potential. Zeta potential, in that itself it will come, dear students. Okay, now minus plus, what will happen, dear student? Oppositely charged ions or not? That means okay, what will happen? Attraction will be taking place, and different charges is there is some potential difference will be. Am I correct or not? Then how to define this one, zeta potential? The potential difference between okay, between fixed and diffused layer. Fixed and as well as, dear students, diffused layer is known as zeta potential. The potential difference between these two layers, fixed and as well as diffused. Diffused it can be movable, but here this layer is fixed, it can't be movable. That is known as potential difference which is acting between the two layers, known as zeta potential. Very important. This is comes under the charge on colloidal solution. Electric double layer, zeta. Next one comes under very simple one. Okay, that is property number 7. That is called as, dear students, electrophoresis. Electrophoresis. Okay, why we have to study about this electrophoresis, dear students? Whether these colloidal particles or colloidal solution which carried some charges or not, which is determined by one experiment. That is experiment is known as here method electrophoresis. Electrophoresis. Sir, what is meant by electrophoresis? Okay, now okay, after you are applying the electric current between the two electrodes, the colloidal charged particle will be moving to opposite charged particles, which is moving, dear students, oppositely charged ions, like here, oppositely charged ions. Okay, now after you are passing electric current, okay, or electric potential, that is known as electrophoresis. Electrophoresis, according to our CBSE, is given one small diagram. Just you have to note down. This is okay, this is one YouTube okay exceptions which is having the two electrodes. Okay, this one I can consider this is plus and this is minus, and this is called as, dear students, colloidal particles. Am I correct or not? This is okay, colloidal particles, and we are taking here small one reservoir. Okay, here one small like this is there. Okay, now what will happen here, after you are passing the electric current or electric potential into the across the two, this one I can consider a platinum, this is platinum electrodes, across the two platinum electrodes. Then what will happen, the negative charged colloidal particles or positive anything, I can consider this is negative. This negative charged particles, this negative charged colloidal particle which okay moving toward the oppositely charged, or negative, that means positive charged particle, okay, that is known as here electrophoresis. Purely this method we have to study with respect to whether the colloidal particles has been carrying charges or not. We have to explain with respect to okay electrophoresis. Am I correct or not, dear students? Okay, 7 point over. Next one comes under, dear students, very important, coagulation. These are all the very important definitions. 8th one, it is comes under coagulation. What is, dear students, coagulation? It is also known as precipitation. It is also known as, dear students, precipitation. Okay, now peptization you studied, okay, to preparation of the colloidal solution in physical methods. Peptization, that means, dear students, precipitate which is converted into colloidal solution, but it is the reverse of peptizing. Okay, reverse of peptization. What is there? Peptide, okay, precipitate to colloidal, but in case of, dear students, colloidal solution which is converted into precipitate, colloidal solution which is converted into, dear student, okay, precipitation, that is called as here coagulation. That is called as, dear students, coagulation. Okay, in that coagulation, generally if you compare, okay, with respect to lyophilic and as well as lyophobic salts, generally lyophilic salts are more stable. Already we gave the differentiate between these two. Generally lyophilic salts are more stable than when compared to lyophobic salts due to the presence of, okay, charged particles which is present on the colloidal solution and as well as the solvation. Okay, generally this lyophilic or hydrophilic salts are more extensively, okay, associated with the water or more solvated with the water. Because of the two reasons only, okay, lyophilic salts, what I mean, dear students, lyophilic salts are more stable than lyophobic salts. Due to what is the, dear students? First reason in the, what is the, dear students? Due to presence of charge. Due to the presence of charge on colloidal solutions, and the second one, dear students, solvating. Okay, that means hydrophilic salts are more solvating with the water. Because of the two reasons only, lyophilic salts are more stable than, dear students, lyophobic salts. And very important in that coagulation, one rule is come, that is comes under Hardy-Sulzay rule. Hardy-Sulzay rule. What is Hardy-Sulzay rule which, okay, stated that? Okay, what is, dear students? Okay, it is stated that, okay, the valency, very important, this is, dear student, okay, Hardy-Sulzay rule, the valency of, what is, dear student, the valency of the fluctuating ion is added. Fluctuating is also known as coagulation. This is fluctuating ion is added, okay, to here the power of valency, the power of the valency to cause precipitation. That means simple, dear students, which, okay, colloidal or which electrolyte or which one, okay, having the greater valency, which having the greater to, okay, precipitate, that is known as here Hardy-Sulzay rule. The valency of, okay, the fluctuating ion is added to whom? To the colloidal solution. Then what will happen? Okay, the power of this, okay, valency to cause precipitate. Already we know we are having the two types of, okay, colloidal solution. One is comes under positive soul, second one is comes under students negative soul. Just I am writing here, just note it. For in case of, for negative soul, which one having the greater power of ions, we have to consider which is having the greater power to cause precipitate. For negative soul I am taking, negative means, okay, it is attracting towards positive or not, then I can consider here Al and as well as Mg, I can consider sodium. Already we know the power of this aluminium. What is the, dear students? Al3 plus or not? Al3 plus which is greater than Mg2 plus which is greater than Na plus. That means here for negative soul, which one having the greater power? Aluminium or not? Because after it loses 3 electrons, it form Al3 plus ion. That means greater the power, greater to cause precipitation. Al3 plus charge, you have to check it. Don't compare, sir, here 3 electrons lost, here 1 electron lost, here 2 electrons. No. Which one having the greater valency? Which having the greater power to cause precipitation? Check it here. Because coagulation means colloidal solution converted into precipitate. Al3 plus followed by Mg2 plus and Na plus. But in case of for positive soul is there, sir, and what type of negative coagulation we have to negative what is electrolytes we have to consider, or negative ions we have to consider. We can continue. Okay, note down, dear students. Okay, dear students, Hardy-Sulzer rule, what is the greater the valency of the fluctuating ion having which cause to, more power to cause precipitation. For positive soul I wrote, for negative soul, Al3 plus, Mg2 plus and Na plus, but in case of, for, positive soul means, dear students, it will be attracting towards negative, charged ions. For positive ions, what I am taking here, which one having a greater charge, you have to consider. FeCN6, 6, 4 minus, which is greater than phosphate. What is the charge? 3 minus, greater than SO4, 2 minus, which is greater than Cl minus. This is the fluctuating ions we have to consider to cause precipitation for whom, dear students? Positive soul. Check it here. -4, -3, -2, -1. The greater the power of the fluctuating ion which causes greater precipitation. That is for whom? Positive soul. This is for whom, dear students? Negative soul. Al3 plus, Mg2 plus, Na plus. This is comes under, dear students, Hardy-Sulzer rule. Very, very important. Next one comes under here. Hardy-Sulzer. Next one small definition is there, that is called as coagulation value. Coagulation value. What is coagulation value, dear students? The minimum concentration, very important here. The minimum concentration in millimoles per liter is required to cause precipitation in 2 hours. This is a very important. This is called as coagulation value. The minimum concentration in what? In millimoles per liter is required to cause precipitation in how many hours? In 2 hours. That is called as a coagulation value. Coagulation value, dear students, coagulation value. That means here more coagulation value is there, we can consider more. What is dear students? More precipitation. This is a very important definition. Where you have to study minimum concentration in millimoles. That is a very important. If they are given the moles, we have to consider in terms of millimoles. In how many liters? Per liter. In how many hours? To cause the precipitation in how many hours? 2 hours. This terminology is very important in the definition. This is called as, dear students, coagulation value. Next one comes under protective soles. This is, dear students, protective soles. Already we know protective soles. Protective, that means here to protect the souls with one when one compared to other soul. Which soul is going to protect? Already we know there are two types of souls, that is lyophilic and as well as lyophobic soul. I can consider this is lyophobic soul. Lyophobic soul. If you add lyophilic soul, what I am doing to students? If you add the lyophilic soul to the lyophobic soul, then what will happen? This lyophilic soul, this lyophilic soul which forms the one layer. It forms the one layer around the lyophobic soul. Around the lyophobic soul, that means here this lyophilic soul which is having the greater stable, which is protecting to lyophobic soul. Simple, no confusion. If you add lyophilic soul, if you add the lyophilic soul to whom, dear students? Lyophobic soul. Okay, then it forms one layer. It forms the one layer around the lyophobic soul. Around the lyophobic soul, this is generally it is called as, dear students, protective soul. That means lyophilic soul which can protect lyophobic soul. Lyophobic soul. Understood, dear students? Okay, now why it is called as more stable? Already we know. Lyophilic soul generally which is comes under more stable due to the reason already we written. Okay, what we discussed? Okay, due to the presence of the charge on colloidal particles, and second one, what, dear students? More solvating in nature. This because, okay, lyophilic, okay, that means here water loving, that means here more solvating will takes place, okay, when compared to lyophobic. Lyophobic means water hating substance. Okay, this is about protective souls. Understood, dear students? Okay, this is comes under protective souls. And finally, that is called as final topic, okay, emulsions. Finally, it is called as, dear students, emulsions. Emulsions generally, okay, it is takes place in what type of substance, dear students? Liquid, okay, mixture. If the liquid mixture is there, then we have to discuss what is the term, dear students? Okay, emulsions. Okay, in that liquid, one is comes under, okay, okay, what is, dear student? Dispersed phase, and second one is comes under dispersion medium. Okay, now this emulsions generally we are having the two types. One is comes under, okay, oil in water type, and the second one is water in okay, oil type. Water in oil type is very important for the board. Oil in water, generally in this case, okay, in this case water is act as dispersion medium. Water is act as a, students, dispersion medium. That means here what about oil? Here oil is act as a dispersed phase. Don't get confused. Water, oil in water, generally both are comes under, dear students, it is immiscible in water. If you take the oil into the, put it in the water, okay, immiscible. If you take the water, put it in the oil, that is also called as immiscible only. Okay, in that we are having the oil in water, water in oil. Water is act as a dispersion medium, whereas oil comes under dispersed phase. But in case of here, oil is comes under dispersion medium, whereas water is comes under, dear students, dispersed phase. Sir, can you give example here? Example for this one here. Okay, cream. Okay, now you can take it here. Okay, butter and vanished cream. Sorry, you can consider here milk and, dear students, vanished cream. This is the example for here oil in water type substance. But in case of water in oil substance here, butter and cream, which is comes under water in oil type of, okay, emulsions. Water in oil type of emulsion. This is a very important. Both are immiscible only, but here water is act as a dispersion medium, here oil is act as a dispersion medium. Okay, here, okay, one example, milk and vanished cream, and here butter and cream, which is act as a, okay, water in oil and oil in water type of substance, dear students. Okay, this is about our surface chemistry has successfully completed with your cooperation. Okay, now generally, okay, what are the things we discussed with respect to, okay, colloidal solution, everything we discussed. First of all, okay, what are the types are there? Dispersion phase and dispersion medium. Okay, next one, okay, with respect to, okay, interaction, lyophilic and as well as lyophobic soil we discussed. Okay, what are the point of difference? The affinity between dispersed phase and medium is there, lyophilic. There is no affinity, that is called as lyophobic. Next one, preparation with respect to lyophobic. Sir, these all the preparation, okay, for the lyophobic. Lyophobic generally two types. One is dispersion, okay, methods or physical. Second one is chemical methods. Dispersion method we discussed, grinding, and next one Bredik's method, peptization. Whereas chemical method, double decomposition, oxidation, reduction. Next one, hydrolysis. Next one, what we discussed there, students, properties. These are all the properties we discussed. Okay, finally these are all, okay, one property is very important for the examination point of view. Okay, dear students, please watch our videos, okay, understand and get the more clarity about the particular, okay, all the concepts. Okay, dear students, thank you.